Chapter 126. Decline in the lowlands. Most of the remaining good people also lived like this, secluded and withdrawn in their souls from the world, and did not care about what the people who went more and more out into the world were doing, which would have been in vain anyway. For the secular people had fallen into a great stubbornness, and it was not advisable to talk to them about spiritual things. Because firstly, they always knew everything better than those who were faithful to me, and secondly, when the faithful counteracted them more forcefully, they soon took refuge to physical abuse and coarse brutality. Such physical attackers therefore no longer listened to the voice of the elders and did not pay any attention to the not rare miracles which the faithful worked before them to turn them back on the right path. But what was very soon the result? Nothing but a total descent into all forms of sensuality. The most vigorous youths and men began to more and more visit the depths, and since they, as God's children, were always treated with the greatest respect and engaged with many of the most beautiful girls and women, they rarely had the desire to return to the heights again. They took them as wives and settled there, built new great cities, fortified them with strong ring walls, and also began soon to play the masters of this large country, which was especially the case with the sons which they had fathered with the daughters of the world in the depths, because they were strong and full of a world-mighty spirit. Or more distinctly stated, they were blessed by the snake, who equipped them with all the worldly power and force and command. And Lamech of the depths, who was still alive, watched with great sorrow at what those coming from the heights had done. Prior to his end, he called his children to him, for he had reached the age of 630 years, which was something without precedent in the depths, and said to them, "Children, the Lord has called me, so that I can leave the world which has become evil. Thus it will happen soon that I will lay down this already very tired body. But do not take exception to it as the children of the heights have done after their fathers have been called away. Otherwise you will be much worse off than those you see fleeing daily from the mountains and build new cities here, to take our wives and procreate worldly strong children with them, who start to subjugate our peoples more and more. I thus advise you to hold firm onto the Lord, because only His power has until now kept this, our powerful enemies, away from our cities and districts. If you would ever leave the Lord, you will soon become powerless slaves of these worldly powerful. Hold on to these words. The Lord's Spirit be with you, as He was with me, and from now on forever. Amen. Soon afterwards, Lamech died, and was placed by his children in a most honourable manner, in a golden coffin, in a magnificent tomb. All 11 cities mourned this leader for years, But Tubal-Cain took over the helm of state and followed in the footsteps of his father, but with a more untrustworthy spirit.